Barry's Campfire videos here for Campfire guitar, and we're doing Dust in the Wind. This is part B of two-part lesson. 2A, we did the intro, which I just played, and in the second part we'll cover the verses and the chorus. One of the greatest songs ever written for folk rock guitar. Everybody knows the lyrics. Wonderful Around the Campfire. Before I start, this will be a shorter video than the last one, but you know, I assume that you can Google, Dust in the Wind lyrics, Dust in the Wind tablature, Dust in the Wind chords, and you'll find all kinds of sources. You can even Google Dust in the Wind how to play videos, and you'll find lots of sources that you should consult. And even the videos, there's videos lots better than the ones that I'm putting together. The things that I'm trying to cover are things that maybe you can't pick up off the page, or that other people aren't telling you, or when you're a beginner you wish you knew. See, there are things I wish I knew about Dust in the Wind when I started playing, and I didn't, but I learned the hard way. Back in 30 years ago, there was no internet, and there was no YouTube and such things. I wish that there was, but there weren't. So I'm trying to show you things that as a beginner, advanced players know these things, but as a beginner you might not know these things. So interwoven with the playing are some little tips here and there. This song, 4/4 time, key of C, and the verses you hear when I did the intro, the last bar with the A minors, it segues into the C chord, which starts the first verse. I close, and you can see I'm just fingering a plain old C chord there. C, G, the E, and then the C bass note. The high E doesn't get played in this C chord, and the low E doesn't get played either when he's doing this fingering. So again, he's just playing with those 4 strings. And in the last video, I had said that you need your 3 fingers and your thumb. Actually, you only need the 2 fingers. And your thumb does quite a lot of the work, because your thumb is doing this alternating pattern on the A string and on the D string. Well, that only leaves your index finger and your middle finger to cover the G string and the B string. So it's actually, it's very simple that way. Now, the intro only does that. In the verses, the chords for the verse are C, this G with the B bass, and the add the D, so G/B add D, A minor, familiar, and then G, and then D minor, and then A minor. So just 6 chords. And it's pretty easy too, because they both resolve to the A minor. So C, G, B, D, A minor for 2 bars. And then, so there's again 2 counts on the A minor. So one count of C, 1 count of the G/B with the B bass, add 9, which is to add the D, and then 2 counts of the A minor. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 1 count of the G, 3, 4, 1 count of the D minor, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. So 6 chords, and there's 8 measures there. So it's a pretty simple structure, and it's worth saying too that this the first four measures, where he's going from the C to the G, B, add D, and the A minor chord. That's one of the most beautiful and common chord progressions in folk rock guitar. So many songs use it. It's hard. I could spend 5 minutes just talking about the different songs that use that, but with the descending bass. And the treble is rising while the bass is going down. Dun, dun, dun. The treble strings are going do, da, da. And now it should be obvious what the treble strings are doing. The voice is, the melody is coming from the treble strings. Close my eyes. But you see the bass line is going down. Close my eyes. Hear how nice that sounds, the harmony. The bass is doing something different from the voice. Close my eyes. Close my eyes. So that's structurally what the first line is doing. I close my eyes. I close my eyes. Now that's playing the pattern on the four strings. Here's what's a little bit different about the verses versus the intro, where he just stays on those middle four strings, 2, 3, 4, and 5. You want to sometimes catch that E string, and you sometimes want to catch the low E string, depending on the chord you're playing. When you're playing that E minor chord, you're actually going to catch that E. I hadn't been playing it so far, but I will this time. And when you do the second line with the G and the D minor, resolving to the A minor, the G, you definitely want to catch the G bass and the G treble and get the full depth and range of that chord. And so you're gonna, it doesn't really matter exactly what strings you pluck when you're doing the finger picking pattern. I actually don't know what the guitarist from Kansas does. I don't really care. All that matters is I get the G bass and the high G to make it sound good. And it's the same thing with the next chord in that sequence, the D minor. Well, with D minor, as you know, you have the D bass note, you have the A, you have the D, so D, A, D, and it's not minor until you put the F in it, which is on the E string. You're fingering with your index finger on the first fret to make the D minor. So that pattern only has 4 strings in it. So you want to go back to the 4-string pattern, but you want to do it on the D chord. So the full set of verses together, the first lines are, that's the segue. I, and now it starts. Close my eyes, only for a moment, then the moment dies. So, one count of C, one count of this G with the B bass note, 2 counts of A minor, 1 count of G, 1 count of D minor, and 2 counts of A minor. I close my eyes, only for a moment, then the moment's gone. All my dreams pass before my eyes in curiosity. So that's it. That's the first verse right there. Just that simple 8-measure chord pattern. And it's the same chord pattern for the next verse. Now the first verse he's talking about, I close my eyes, then the moment's gone. All my dreams pass before my eyes in curiosity. So the first verse is about eyes, visions, dreams. The second verse, of course, is same old song, just a drop of water in the endless sea. All we do crumbles to the ground, though we refuse to see. So So the second verse is really about the theme, dust in the wind. It's about the entropy of, the destructive forces of nature that, win in the end, wind and water crumbling things down to nothing. And then the third verse, of course, he takes that allegory and applies it to human relationships, with issuing out some advice. Now don't hang on. Nothing lasts forever but the earth and sky. It slips away, and all your money won't another minute buy. Dust in the wind. All we are is dust in the wind. Not sure why this video is flashing at me. Maybe I don't have enough light here. Too bright? Possibly, eh? Too brighter. So let's try this one. Oh, mood lighting. There we go. There was that's how I remember the three verses. The first one is about eyes and dreams, and then the next one, same old song, the forces of entropy, forces of sea and sky crumbling down, and then the last verse about relationships and all your money won't another minute buy. So the slipping away of time. So the big themes, really big themes in this song: time, money, entropy, the forces of nature, and how ultimately, entropy rules it all, and dissipation is what rules the universe, and it affects a lot of things, from relationships to your dreams to physical things around you. Now the chorus, I did play it there. Dust in the wind, all we are is dust in the wind, and he does the vocal melody, varies it up a little bit, but the chords, again, Google this, you'll see the chords. Dust in the wind, all we are is dust in the wind. I noticed that sometimes I didn't tell you, but sometimes I'm playing the G chord with my thumb, and there, when I play the D F sharp, so there's the D with the F sharp bass, I'm playing that F sharp bass with my thumb, and that's something that beginners are like, wow, you wrap your thumb around? Yeah, Jimi Hendrix used to play like that and play many strings with his thumb wrapped around, but it's often helpful to use your thumb to do the wrapping around, because then it frees your fingers to do other things. So I will often use the thumb for the G, and in this case I definitely use the thumb all the time for the F sharp. You can play it this way if you want. It's easier to see what I'm doing. The D and the A and the F sharp with the index finger, but that's just not the way I play it. I play it with my hand close to my palm of my hand touching the fretboard, and using my thumb to fret the F sharp. All we are is dust in the wind. And then again, I'll sometimes go up and hit that higher, the E note, instead of staying within the strings 2, 3, 4, 5. I'll go get number 1. And that's a trick I do. You can tell I'm pretty weak on the vocals. Oftentimes I will, when I'm practicing, I will, in the finger picking pattern, I'll pick out the string that is in the vocal melody, so that my voice is attracted right to that tone, and it helps me stay on pitch. So that's, I don't know if the guy from Kansas actually plays the high E when he does his A chord, but sometimes I'll do it, and sometimes I won't, and sometimes I will. And since it's one of the higher notes in that song, I'll hit it only on occasion to match the vocal melody. So that's it for the chorus and the verses for Dust in the Wind. No other tips I can think of off the top of my head. Just I did play that pretty quickly. I didn't slow it right down, but like I said, you'll look up the tab, and if you go to like songster.com, songsterr.com, and you'll see the animation of the rolling beat bar that goes over the measures, and you can see how the finger picking is done. And it's sort of hard to believe how fast it goes by. You'll see all these notes, and you can't believe that one measure's gone by that quickly. But when you're playing that fast, yeah, the notes just roll, because those are all eighth notes. So to play just one measure, I had to do that twice, hit 8 of those notes. So it goes by really fast. So it's fun to look at the Songster for tablature for folk guitar. It just whips through as it's covering all these notes. And but it's really, if I just focus on my right hand here, it's just, it's that slow. You can do it that slowly. Of course, when you look up the tab too, you see there's another round with the intro part is done in the middle, and that is the outro as well. Outro, the ending, intro, except it's at the end of the song. So that's interjected in there. I'm not going to show you that because I'm not playing the song start to finish. I'm just showing you some tips on how to add in the elements that are required, the stuff that's not written on the page. So that's it. You got your intro to Dust in the Wind, and then you got your verses and your chorus, and that's it. Learn the melody, pick out the notes, and your friends will enjoy it. It's a great campfire song.